What makes a good sippy cup or cup in general for a 6-month-old to a toddler to maybe a travel cup for an older child? That's what we're going to be digging into today with some of the cups that my mostly older daughter has used. But before we really get started, hi, my name is Ellie. I'm a mom of two and under, and today we're going to be talking about sippy cups. Mostly sippy cups or straw cups, but there are a couple of open top cups or mimic open top cups that we are going to talk about. With each cup, we will be talking about how easy or difficult it is to clean, theoretically or in real life. And then we're also going to be talking about if it leaks, if my daughter has taken to it, or daughters in some cases. But so these will be just what we have. We are going to start with the Munchkin 360 cups with handles. These, I believe, hold about 6 to 8 ounces in them. And as far as easiness to clean, it comes apart in 3 parts. So theoretically, it is quite easy to clean. Granted, I use these cups more for juice. So they are just a little bit stained, and I can see this particular cup is not yet clean. So theoretically, it's easy to clean. There are a few crevices, nooks and crannies that I would watch out for with these, but generally speaking, they're pretty easy. Now that being said, for 360 cup, my older daughter used it from about 6 months, 7 months maybe, and to about 9 months. And once she started throwing them, they leaked quite a lot. Obviously, leaking is not what you want in a sippy cup, but I have not found a sippy cup yet that doesn't leak at least a little bit. So these do a pretty good job as far as being reminiscent of an open top cup. It's one of the best for mouth health, but as far as usability in reality for a mom of two and under, these are not very useful for young children, like little young, the 6 to 8, 9 month range, when they don't have full control of if they're going to drop something or not. My older daughter does use these now as a juice cup if the bigger size is not clean. So these are kind of a bummer as far as 6-month-old goes, but they are better once they get to about 18 months, where they have a better grasp on gripping, and if you can teach the kid not to throw. Anyway, moving on to these ones, I wanted to get her off the bottle in case she got confused, but she didn't really take to it for when she was using a bottle. It was better for water and juice and things, and to this day, I mean, it's got juice in it from earlier today. It comes apart in 3 parts, so theoretically easy to clean, just like the other one. I have seen some staining, just like the other one, and there's that. I will go to this Tommy Tippy straw cup. So we found out that my older daughter really likes straws. So this one was theoretically great because it is a weighted straw, and so it should follow wherever the liquid is. Problem for me is that it's very difficult for it to get to the top, and my daughter liked to lie down with bottles, so didn't really work for that. Plus, the flow of these straws so slow because they're trying to make sure that it doesn't leak. As far as that goes, she really hasn't used these much for anything. I can't use it for juice because I'm worried it's not going to get clean. So it's really only used for water, and she has a different cup that she favors for water, so these really haven't been used. The other thing about these is it takes so much effort to get them apart to clean. Let me show you. Ooh, there was water in there. So to clean it, it comes apart. So obviously the cup, and then just for the straw part, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 different parts for the lid and straw part. Plus, technically the weight comes off, and you should take off the weight to clean it. Probably every time, but at least I didn't, except every so often. So theoretical and practical clean is not very easy. It does come with a straw cleaner thing. I almost said a straw pipette. That's not what I meant. But anyway, so it does come with something to help you clean inside the straw, and that's really nice. But generally speaking, probably not my favorite thing. Plus, it's really difficult to get back together. You do need to make sure that everything, and that clipped in really easy, but you have to make sure that everything clips in perfectly. And so now it's all back together. Darn Tommy Tippy. Now we'll go back to Munchkin now. Munchkin managed to do a weighted straw that goes directly down, so that in theory would be better. Now it's kind of the same thing though for cleaning wise, but it only comes apart in technically 4 parts if you count the weight. So much easier than the Tommy Tippy. Again, the weight's kind of hard to get off, but I get why the straws are small, so that they're slow flow, so that the kids don't choke on it. I totally get that, but it does make me scared to use it for anything other than water. Again, it did come with a straw cleaner thing, and it does have a little flap almost to help prevent spills and leakage, and it does close just like the other one. The lid does lock closed as well, which is really nice. In theory, this would have been a great one for my daughter, and really I should probably be using this a little bit more, but again, she has a favorite for water, so we'll see. I'm going to take a break from some of the straw cups and things, and we will go back to some open top cups. So this I got with a set for baby-led weaning. Came with a bowl, a bib, cup, and 2 different kinds of spoons. This is supposed to be very good. Both my daughters have used this a little bit. I have tried to help my younger daughter use this, and she tends to spit up a lot with water, so I've been slower in introducing water to her. So this cup, it holds about 2 ounces of water or liquid, and it is really grippy, so they're able to figure out drinking from an open top cup. So theoretically, great. In practice for my family, not so much. Clean's really easy, it's a single thing. There are no little crevices. The corners on the inside are rounded, so there's really no place for stuff to hide. So theoretically, absolutely wonderful. So the next open top cup I have is this stoppered cup. It slows down the flow when your child is tipping the cup, and so it's kind of a trainer open top cup. Obvious, it will leak. It doesn't do really anything to completely stop the flow, but that's not the intent for this particular cup. My older daughter has been really liking this lately, especially it's had a lot of juice in it recently and stuff like that. My husband really likes this cup. Anyway, so this as well is theoretically and in practice just fine. There is a little bit more of a sharp edge on the inside, so maybe be careful cleaning wise, but it's a regular cup. It's not really that much of a difference. So it is what it is, and so far it's worked pretty well for our family. So now we're getting into some of the favorites. My older daughter over time has had kind of 3 favorites, and we'll start with the one that has not been a favorite for a while, but that I particularly like. I find it really nice, and that is this. It's the brand Yaya. It's an awful lot like a mini Stanley. I think it holds 10 ounces if I remember correctly. I don't see anything on it. This comes apart in 4 pieces, but they are generally pretty easy to put together and take apart. The edge is rounded-ish at the bottom of this, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue. But I will say though, this cup is so ridiculously durable. It's probably one of the only cups that I have found that really doesn't leak for anything. It has a little flap thing that, so you have to either suck really hard or squeeze with your lips a little bit to get anything out. Obviously, most of these cups are for a little bit older, a year to 18 months. But so one of my favorite things about this cup in particular is its durability. I was carrying way too many things, and I dropped it down a fairly long flight of concrete stairs that were fairly steep, and it barely leaked at all. And it honestly barely even scratched. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but that is the only scratching that I got or that I saw on it. There's some on the bottom too. I was very happy about that. Never had any issues with the cup. The only downside really is that it's kind of heavy, so it would be a little bit difficult for slightly younger kids. Again, I think this was listed as an 18-month cup or older. It might have even been 2 and older, but I remember I got it when my daughter was about 18 to 20 months, something like that. So now we're on to the absolute favorites for my daughter and my husband and I when it comes to sippy cups. So we're gonna go ahead and go with her regular daytime cup. I had a friend that recommended this cup to me. It's, I don't know, it's whatever the little heart one is. Can't remember the brand, but I will definitely link it down below in the description and probably in a pinned comment. So what I really love about this particular cup is that it again comes apart in 3 parts, but look at this insanity. The straw comes apart like that so that you're able to clean it easier. It is amazing. It's genius. It's insanity, and I love it. So my daughter just wore out the light blue one of this. She did bite off the very edge of the straw. So if your kiddo is a biter, I would not recommend these. But all things considered, everything else is kind of perfect for this cup. I think it's about 8 ounces that it holds, but as far as cleaning, theoretically and practically, amazing. I love it. So the straw is silicone, so it does get a little bit slimy pretty fast if you don't wash it regularly. Now, that being said, most people wash their kids' cups every day, every other day. So it's not gonna be a big deal. Love this cup, love it. Her bedtime cup is the Nunk actual sippy cups, and I think this is also a 10 ouncer. It also comes apart in 3 parts. So it has the valve, the lid, and the cup. Super, super easy in theory and in reality. There are some little crevices that you need to be careful of. This one actually isn't a washed cup, so you might see some stuff, but super easy, super nice. Originally, when we got these, I was trying to transition my daughter away from bottles. So both my daughters use Dr. Brown bottles or used Dr. Brown bottles. And we did use the sippy cup nipple on them for a little while, and my daughter didn't really take to them. They're a really cool idea though, but they do leak. And so I was very much wanting to not have to worry about leaks in my daughter's bed, because when she goes down with a bottle or whatever, I don't want it to be leaking all over her sheets, all over her clothes, all over her blankets and pillows and whatever, because she's 2. She has everything in her bed. My daughter has thrown this quite a few times, never really had issue with it leaking. These 2 are our current #1 drink receptacle for our older daughter. Right now, our younger daughter, I'm just working on getting her to do this because she doesn't really suck on things this small. These would probably be the 2 things I would start with for my younger daughter. Here on this channel, I plan to do a lot of tips and tricks that I've learned as a mom of young children. If you would like to join my community, I would love to have you. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.